Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our weekend show. Around the clock cricket, we have Sudeep and Ishanjan. Unfortunately, Ayan missing out and Kunal as well. We are having a double header tonight, as usual, where we'll discuss two cricketers basically who have caught a lot of imagination and limelight. One who's been a stellar performer for India, an absolute top performer for India, along with Jasprit Bumrah, and the other one who's coming up and probably could be his replacement. So you're right. When we talk in the first half about Mohammad Shami and his very, very curious exclusion from Indian side, we are going to be joined by Sudeep and Ishanjan and trying to dissect what is wrong. Numbers do stack heavily in his favor, but it seems that the selectors have gone past and moved on from Mohammad Shami. Just to give a little backdrop, 23, he was the highest wicket taker after Bumrah, after Hardik Pandya was injured. He was not and he played one match. He was not supposed to play, but he came back strongly to finish as the highest wicket taker, took 7 wickets in the semi-final, if I'm not wrong. And then he had a Achilles injury, which absolutely took him out. And he was out for the entire 23-24. He did not go to BGT. Then the controversy erupted. Selectors said that they were contacted Shami, and Shami said he was not contacted. And since then, I think there's been a lot of tutu mai between selectors and Shami. And to worsen it, we had a mad coach who was taken over, Gautam Gambhir. So I think situations have compounded very wrongly for Shami at the wrong time, that he is also aging. And then he came back strongly in 25 Champions Trophy. Along with Varun Chakravarti, he became the highest wicket taker. Again, an injury, and now he looks like that he's totally out of the side. Brilliant. He had a great Ranji Trophy match, I think about 40 wickets, 8 in the final. Correct, Sudeep? 8 in the final, I think. 8 in the semi-final.
Semi-final, yeah.
Yeah. And he had a brilliant and a very brilliant, not so bad Syed Mustaka Ali tournament, SMT, and Vijay Hazare also. But his performance in the red ball, especially in Ranji, warranted Saurav Ganguly to ask number of times that why was he not picked up. Agarkar keeps on saying that I don't have any data of Mohammad Shami playing, and unless we have enough data that he's match fit, we cannot take it. So it looks like that the country, the selectors and Gautam Gambhir have walked past beyond Shami, and now that he is 35. But today we are in the next 10-15 minutes, we are going to discuss and analyze why he fell out of favor. And that is very important to know. When a player falls out of favor, we have seen Sarafraj Khan out of favor. We have seen KL Rahul and Rishabh Pant slowly going out of favor as today's reports come in ODI. So this peculiar trend of putting people out of favor, Rohit, Kohli, and Ashwin into forced retirement, Pujara into retirement. Lot of players are being pushed into retirement by Gautam Gambhir. So why is this happening? We will analyze this only, and the curious case of Mohammad Shami. My take is, before I move on to Ishanjan, my take is, I think there are two aspects. The first aspect that people are saying that his surname, I do not think in this particular case, the Muslim case, of course, Gautam Gambhir doesn't like Muslims is correct. But the first case is that Muslim, I don't think is a big issue. The issue with Shami has more of been with Agarkar. So I personally feel that it is basically Agarkar who had no information on Shami, and the particular interview Shami gave saying that I am fit, I am bowling. If I am fit and I am taking wickets, that's the biggest statement. Why do I need to inform? That is the exact words, if you remember, Sudeep and Ishanjan. I am fit and I am taking wickets. Why do I need to inform selectors? I think that was taken very poorly by Ajit Agarkar in his ego. And then he has decided to shunt him totally. I think that is the first point. The second point could be the religion issue, but I think Gautam Gambhir is stressed so much in the red ball, which is tremendous performance, 37% win, the lowest by any Indian coach ever. I don't think he will miscalculate, and he's not so stupid that he will miscalculate these numbers, although he tends to overpower everything. But my personal thing is exactly the slide that comes up, Sudeep. Shami said that I am taking wickets, that's good enough. And that is where everything went wrong, basically. And I think that is the point. When you open your mouth, like Abhimanyu Ishwar's dad opened his mouth, excuse me, when you open your mouth against the selectors in current dispensation, when ICC equal to BCCI equal to Government of India, when this is the way it happens, anyone who opens his mouth and is not taken in good spirit will find it very difficult to come back, especially for Shami, who has been in and out. And given its tremendous career, 2015 World Cup, 19 World Cup, the Test series, and he has 200 plus wickets in ODI and Test both, it is very, very unfortunate that such an end had to come for such a great bowler. And I still feel, personally, I feel still Shami has a lot to give to Indian cricket. But the basic problem with Agarkar and maybe his religion has now led it to. I'll not so much say that the Muslim hater thing is a big issue, although in Sarafraj Khan case we see that with Gambhir also. Gambhir has issues with people and very strong issues. If he doesn't like someone, and if he likes someone like Nitish Reddy and Harshit Rana, very, very, very average players, if they know him. So that is my viewpoint in the first 2.5 minutes. I am now over to Ishanjan. Ishanjan, I gave you the opening sentence. Was this the interview that caused problem for Shami, or do you think they have decided no youth policy? There was a time when India decided youth policy. Mahendra Singh Dhoni, you remember, he became captain. He immediately shunted out Dravid and Saurav from ODI. You remember in 2008, and India won, and he said that I am right. And then he, of course, took a team to with Suresh Raina and a lot of youngsters. He took the team to the 2011. So in hindsight, people said no, it was right to drop Saurav and Dravid. But the previous year, Saurav was the highest run getter in international cricket with 1700, 1100 something. So what is, in your opinion, the problem why Mohammad Shami is now almost phasing out?
Good evening, very much. See, in that case, it's the first show that we are conducting after post the victory of the T20 triumph. And I must say that it is T20 triumphant as it was due to the fact that India was an outstanding team over here. But the credit, it doesn't mean that the credit has gone to the coach and the selector for the triumph. First of all, I want to mention on the fact because the team which has won this T20 World Cup was an invincible team. We must agree on the fact that it's an invincible team. When you are having in bowling, you are having Bumrah, Varun Chakravarti, Arshdeep Singh, Akshar Patel, and in batting, so in that case, considering the fact that in these cases, in lieu of this case, it's not the thing is that Gautam Gambhir wants to take the credit of the entire. It's not that the credit has gone to Gautam Gambhir. It's the credit of the Gautam Gambhir has prepared this team. So it's not like that. And in regarding this particular fact, I must say that why only Shami, he has certain actually problem with, he is having certain qualms with lot of other players we have seen before, like Rishabh Pant, like Shreyas Iyer, considering the fact. In fact, Sanju Samson also at some point of time, Sanju Samson was not playing in the initial part of the tournament, and it was on the lieu of this knock against West Indies, his match-winning knock that he has later on. Now we are considering him for the ODI squad, and this is the time where only one thing I am at a part that now is the roadmap. He should chalk out for the next ODI World Cup, and in that cases, if you want to face Mohammad Shami is not, but considering the fact, are we having sufficient alternatives with us?
Replacements, right?
That's the main question.
Ishanjan, my question is he okay to play test match? Because my red ball is a concern. We don't have enough red ball players. Do you think he should play red ball? White ball, we may have moved from Shami, but red ball, is he replaceable? I don't think he's replaceable. Your thoughts on red ball? Because we only have Bumrah. Prasidh Krishna, Siraj, not good enough. And Nabi will of course discuss. But Shami, is he replaceable in red?
Frankly speaking, I'm not seeing him into red ball cricket no more, because right now he's almost at the verge of 37. So in red ball, you have to take a workload of 4-5 days. So in that case, I don't think it will be. That means it will be. That means it will be modest enough to take him into the red ball. It's better that he should play in the 50 overs format, because it's the only format where he can take part. Because in the red ball, because he's first of all, his fitness there is an issue with his fitness. He often, that means is very much prone to be injured. So I don't think in the red ball, we need to see him find his alternative very soon, as early as possible. And in that cases, we are having alternative in front of our eyes, but I don't know what the selectors going on in their mind, that they are not pushing in this Akif Nabi for the in the red ball or for the further series with the. He should be immediately on course of action with the senior Indian team. I must say, I must point out something in this T20 team, or in the there are some alternatives who should be part of the senior team right now at this point of time. Providing on the fact that Shami, we desire him to for the 50 overs tournament, because keeping in mind that the next year is at that point of time, Mohammad Shami will turn 38. You must also keep in mind. In that case, you remember when
No,
Srinath,
Shami
when
is 35 and a half. Shami will be 36.
yeah,
Shami will
but
be
that time
36.
when he will play with the World Cup, that time his age will already be 37, and he is already having fitness issue. I remember when Javagal Srinath, before the 2003 World Cup, Javagal Srinath was being dropped from the squad, and he was actually permanently being dropped from the Test squad, because in order to in lieu to playing this 2003 World Cup, Saurav Ganguly again called him back for only to play the 2003 World Cup, and gradually after 2003 World Cup, he took retirement. But he has stopped playing cricket, Test cricket, just a year before this 2003 World Cup, because he was having certain nickel with with fitness issues. And same was with Venkatesh Prasad also. He was not being selected gradually. He was not being, after the advent of Zahir Khan and Ashish Nehra, he was not being pushed into further into the Test squad. Same with Srinath also. Srinath and Prasad was dropped. Like the same way, we need to find out with the alternative, because in the Test for the 5 days, if he can play only for the 50 overs format, because right now it won't be possible for him to take a stay for 5 days at a trot. And in that cases, I will find we are having good alternatives with us in front of our eyes. Even we have Akashdeep also. He is a very good He can be a very good alternative for Mohammad Shami in red ball also. In red ball cricket, is a very good alternative. Even there is Akib Nabi also. He should be infused into the team as early as possible, because India needs such a bowler who can make the ball
We are,
move,
yeah, I
make the
understand.
ball.
Now, Shanjan, we are saying that what is the issue? Why there's a problem between Shami and the selectors and Gambhir? So we'll come back to you. Sudeep, can we have the statistics now? The stats slowly, so that we can understand the greatness of Mohammad Shami. That's his entire career, brilliant career,
So that's a
229 tests.
brilliant career. If you see both first
Yeah.
class as well as test match as well as ODIs, he has been simply brilliant. His record speaks for itself. The bowling,
So
is
Sudeep,
only,
what do you think?
yeah.
Where is the issue?
See, basically it's a combination of few factors. One of course, is the age. I don't think religion has played a very prominent role in this particular issue. I would rather say that, first of all, seems to be an ego issue between Ajit Agarkar and Mohammad Shami, because of the
Absolutely.
Agarkar saying I'm not getting any feedback from him, and Shami saying that, that I'm already fit. So what is the point? Why should I report every time? I think that was the issue, one of the issue. And the other issue is the age factor. Now, under the Gambhir dispensation, there is a systematic phasing out of elder cricketers, the senior cricketers. This is a policy, it's a sort of policy, that they will phase out the senior cricketers gradually, and they will build up a strong, a youth team, young team, who can be controlled well by Gautam Gambhir. So that is the issue. I don't think, Mohammad Shami now, I think he has really missed the bus. Although as a cricket fan, I would love to see him in the New Zealand series, test series, because I still feel, he can be deadly on those type of wickets. But I don't think, given the current attitude of the selectors as well as the management, it will be very difficult for him to come back. So I think it's a combination of age, this fitness, as well as and the ego. These three factors have played a part.
Fitness, providing fitness is the biggest issue for him to
Fitness is a
come back.
very big issue because see, he has been prone to, and that was one of the reasons, on that England tour, it was a long tour and nobody, and the selectors did not wanted to risk, taking him into the side, because if he breaks down in the mid of the series, then again they have to find an alternative. So they thought of, trying out new bowlers, Prasidh Krishna, Akashdeep, and other thing. So I think from henceforth, I think only
Yeah.
as a replacement, we can look forward to Akeem Nabi, Akashdeep, Prasidh Krishna, these, and Jasprit Bumrah on a selective basis. They will now don the mantle of bowling, and Mohammad Siraj, of course. We have Mohammad Siraj. So these will be the main bowlers. So it's again, I repeat, it's a combination of, age, fitness, and ego. These three factors.
So it is age, fitness, and ego. Fair enough. I think we definitely come to the conclusion. I also personally feel more of ego and less of fitness. And because there are examples, Sudeep and Ishanjan, where we have players who have gone abroad and played.
Sarfraz Khan is a big example.
Sarfraz Khan. No, there are examples of pace bowlers I'm talking. Of course, Sarfraz is there. There are examples across the world where pace bowlers have come back after injury. I remember Peter Siddle in Ashes. Steve Flynn in Ashes. There are a lot of bowlers. Glenn McGrath also. And Glenn McGrath, the speed was pretty low. I mean, 120, 30, 132. So there are bowlers, fast bowlers who have come back after injury and have delivered. Yes, age has been on his against him and the ego issue.
Josh Hazlewood, and they are all 36 plus.
The one who are having
at the peak of their form.
And also not being selected.
Correct. You look at Mitchell Stark in this Ashes, 35. He took 21,
36,
20 plus wickets.
36
he took
years.
20 plus wickets in this Ashes.
He's elder than Shami. He's elder than Shami.
36.
No.
Correct. So that age is not a factor. There are other issues which we understand. And the issue is more between Agarkar and Shami than between Agarkar and than between Shami and Gautam Gambhir.
In interviews, indirectly he has pointed out also, that he's been a victim, basically. He has indirectly.
Correct. And that interview itself went against him very much. Because the very sentence that I am fit and I'm playing, that went against him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's important. And thank you so much, both Sudeep and Ishanjan. We had a very short discussion on Mohammad Shami. It looks that he has played his last for India. And we only wish him well. And we only hope the miracle happens because we play very few test matches this time. So we really don't know what's going to happen. Because we play 2 in Sri Lanka and 2 in New Zealand. But I do not think that there is going to be issues in they will going to pick him up, and India plays Australia, so obviously World Cup to is dur ki baat hai, as Ishanjan rightly said. I'd like to see Shami doing a really getting selected in any of the series, but doesn't look like with Akashdeep, Mukesh, Prasidh, a lot of other bowlers, and now Nabi, whom we're going to discuss now. So I think it is the end of another career, a brilliant career in Indian cricket, unfortunately. And due to the egos of selectors, and there are a lot of players. Amal Mazumdar has happened now. Sarfraz Khan, Karun Nair, we never know. After the triple century, just phased out, and he came back after 8 years and played 4 and again phased out. So there are a lot of players in Indian cricket who have phased out. So we don't know what's going to happen. There's too much of competition. Red ball is, of course,
one thing.
Yeah.
Is there any communal apartheid going on? Because hardly there are any that only. That means some things can raise the eyebrows. There are a lot of things which can raise the eyebrows because there is only 1 or 2 community which are given maximum stress over here, and
obviously the communal angle we definitely look at, and of course a lot of things have been said that Siraj is also now sidelined because of his communal angle. Shami has been trolled badly because being a Muslim. Islamophobic comments have happened where Virat Kohli and Kapil Dev, we must remember, both took his sides, and most of the same people took his sides. So that is, of course, there with now particular ruling dispensation happening in India. But I think, which Sudeep rightly said, there has to be a combination of ego. I don't think religion plays that much role now in Shami's exclusion than the ego part and the age and obviously the fitness part. It is very sad, but that's the way Indian cricket is, and a lot of great names had to go because of, and very few cricketers, except for I think Dhoni and Sachin, 99% of cricketers, including Dravid, Saurav, Lakshman, Sehwag, they all had to go because at some point of time, selectors had phased them out. So, I mean, age waits for none. So, I don't think, Ishanjan, the religion factor, of course, that is there, but may not be so prevalent in case of Shami. Thank you, Sudeep and Ishanjan. We had a very short and a great discussion on what happened with the very curious case of Muhammad Shami, and unfortunately, it looks that we have seen the last of him. Thank you and good night.